Good morning. It is February 23rd. Out here in no man's land. I'm just going to do the morning routines of checking everything. It says bunker silos at 28%, which is good. 61% over here. We're pretty close to being able to sell that. The chickens. Let's see how much food they got. Looks good there. And there, they should be roughly the same amount of food. These ones, we're going to need to refill their food here fairly soon. Now, what were we working on before? We're working on basically just chopping the trees down out here that we're going to need to get rid of to be able to set up, hopefully, a vineyard is what we want to do. Because the plan is to go cereal. And we're going to need a vineyard for that, for the grapes. Looks like honey's starting to come in. Just a little bit, 5 liters. We've almost got another pallet of tomatoes from each of those, and strawberries. They gave us a pallet a few days ago, I think. And we've got some pallets just sitting here waiting to be sold later. Let's see, after these two give us the new pallet of tomatoes, we're going to sell them and put down a large greenhouse to get tomatoes coming out of a large greenhouse, because it's quite a bit more than 2 mediums at the same time, if I'm remembering right. So $672 a month, $672 a month, and the large is $1536 a month. So it's like 100 more? No, 100 and something more tomatoes a month extra. That'd be roughly 3 pallets worth. Almost forgot to shut the lights off and close the door. So we're going to want to basically any tree that's before this little pathway here, you can see it right here on the map, are ones that we're going to be getting rid of. Let me pull it up on the actual big map here. Anything south of this little dividing line, and kind of within this area here to about here. We'll probably chop some of these trees down on this hill, but we're probably not going to set up a vineyard going that way. Oh, gotta stay south of the line of the path. So this one's got to go. So we'll just go ahead and start chopping these down to prep. It's going to take a little bit to clear these out and set everything up. And we're not going to take the loan out for the vineyard right now. Just because we need, we don't want to already start taking, what do you call it? Interest. We don't want interest to be coming in quite yet for that loan, because it's going to be a very sizable one. So we already know where that tree is. That one's going to be easy to kind of see from a distance, but we'll leave the branches and everything on the small ones for now. So where is the path? See it right here. Okay. So these need to go. And we're going to do a pretty sizable one. Pretty sizable vineyard. Just because I don't know I don't know grapes as well as most other things. I mean, I only know so much about most other things in this game anyway, but grapes, the orchards and the vineyards are very, very new to me. Haven't messed with them at all, really. I know that the equipment is different, but everything else is kind of a mystery right now. And we're going to chop some of these down so we can get some extra money out of this. Not many of them, probably just these for now. Right here, and then this one. And we're going to leave the branches on them for now because we're going to come back here in a minute to start piling them up. Because we're going to need the need a few things. We're going to need the our measuring stick for one. And then we want to head this way. And we're going to be taking down these other freestanding trees that are kind of in where we're going to be putting down the orchard. We're going to try and make a semi-big orchard here. But we want to be able to get the equipment to be able to work the orchard as well, so I'm not really 100% sure about how we're going to do that quite yet. Because I don't know if there's enough in the loans to be able to not only set up this really large orchard, and also afford the equipment. But I think what might end up happening is we'll set up some pretty long... We'll start with the longer rows of the orchard first, and we'll set some pretty long ones to get as much out of it as we can, with just enough money to buy the equipment left over. It might be a case of only buying the stuff that we can really use on it right now, and possibly selling our old tractor, because we might need to sell that thing and buy one of the orchard tractors, the thinner tractors that can actually work in the orchards without any problems. So we've got some trees chopped down. I think I might chop this one down. Well, let's see. Yeah, it's kind of... because we kind of want to set it just, as you can see, this rock formation right here, just left of the rock formation, going this way. So we'll get this tree, and then the small tree behind us, and that'll be the last of the trees that we really need to chop down. This one right here. Although I don't know if that's... yeah, it's on our land here. Right, so we're going to chop it that way. Okay. And this one too, because it's pretty close. It's pretty close to where we're going to be going. And those are the trees that are going to go. So we need to find a kind of a central location to put all the tree pieces. Probably, you know what, just on top of this hill. So we'll start by piling up the small trees up there, I think. They're going to be kind of covered in the grass, so it's going to be a little tricky to see. There we go. And hopefully it won't be too much of an issue here trying to find these pieces, because I don't really want to leave them here by accident and then run across them later and be like, oh, that's like worth like $50, or probably not even that. It's not even worth the gas to bring it over to the shop. But we'll just go ahead and pile them up and make the pile large enough to be able to see, hopefully. The small trees, we don't really have to like measure them out or anything like that. That's not that big of an issue to deal with. We do need to cut this one. down a little bit. And we'll just start making the pile kind of bigger so that way it's easier to see. Let's see here, about right there, I think. Yeah. Wow, that was really lucky. 4 meters right out of the gate. That's neat. We'll just chop this a little bit. That bug is kind of a weird one. If you take out your chainsaw as you're looking at a tree, excuse me, it won't let you cut wood with it initially. You have to put it away, look away from the tree, and then, or at least look away to the point to where the little circle icon that you get where the cut's going to be made doesn't appear, and then you can cut the tree. It's kind of a weird one, but it's not like a game-breaking thing or anything like that. It's just an odd bug that exists. I know these videos are coming out kind of late. I'm back to work now, and it's a little hard to record. And yeah, there's a lot of life happening, so life takes kind of precedent over doing these right now. Trying to catch up. Hopefully we'll get caught up by like April. I'm saying April just for safety reasons. Not to overpromise and underdeliver, but we are trying to catch up. So bear with us while life happens. And once we get closer and closer to summertime, it's going to get a lot busier for us. So bear in mind that will be happening as well. But enough talk about that. Let's get back to chopping up these trees here. I think what we'll do, again, we'll just keep piling up the small pieces over here for now. The large ones will obviously have to get onto the back of the trailer. But for now, the small trees are we're just going to get all those, get them out of the way, get them placed over here. This might take a few days to sort this out, getting all the trees ready, because they are pretty far away from where our house is, and we do have to, park up the equipment at night and basically put away all of our toys before going to bed. That one doesn't want to move, or doesn't want to stay still, rather. See, I am pressing the use hand tool button. As you can see, it's not doing anything, so you have to look away, and then you can. It's just a really weird, not really weird, it's just, slightly annoying, somewhat weird bug, but it's fixed easily enough by just looking away from the wood you're about to cut and taking the chainsaw back out. Okay, let's see. This is a little long, so let's cut this one down by a little bit. There we go. And we'll move this over to the pile. To the pile you go. So the vineyard we're going to set up, that, obviously we're only going to be able to sell grapes off of it initially, but I think it'll be good to try and get into, like I stated before in either yesterday or the day before's, that I kind of want to start getting us into the the crops that are going to be used for cereal. So one of those, one of those items, obviously, I want to say is honey, because I think it's oats, corn, honey, and raisins is what it is. Sunflowers, we want to just sell that for profits, try to get as much money as possible. So we're going to start with the sunflowers on the fields that we do have, and then obviously the grapes over here. And initially we'll just be using the grapes to sell, like I said, until we're actually able to produce the cereal itself, at which point we're going to need a raisin processing factory of some sort to use to make or a grape processing factory rather, to get raisins. And we'll probably sell the raisins until we can actually get the cereal factory, which I think it's just one thing. The cereal factory is just its own thing altogether. But trying to get used to all the different crops that we're going to be doing for cereal, probably a good idea. I mean, there's not that crazy a thing or anything like that to get used to with them. It's just, I think it would just be a good idea to do those crops specifically. So oats are pretty good as far as, sell price, and then you get the straw, which you can sell, which is good as well. Especially if we decide to get pigs later, we can use that straw for bedding and get manure off of them, which we can use to fertilize, at least the regular fields. And then obviously the liquid manure as well. And then corn is pretty good overall for different things. You get quite a bit of it. It's a pretty high yield crop, at least from what I remember from previous installments. Doesn't sell for a whole lot, but the volume kind of makes up for that. Plus, initially, if we wanted to, we could use a forage harvester head to chop it up to get chaff, and we could just chaff the corn until we start actually using the corn for cereal. There we go. We've got a nice little pile of wood here going. Let's see. And then honey, we can just sell that until we, obviously until we have anything else to do with it. This field can eventually be extended. I'm not going to chop these trees down right now because we're prepping this side for the orchard. Okay. I think this is the last small tree. Oh wait, no, there's another one. Looks like there's a few, actually. It's like three more small trees. This is probably, like maybe $1,000 or $2 worth of wood, which is good. Oh, you know what? I think I missed chopping this one down. Yeah, we should probably chop this one down too. Alright, that's ready to go. A lot of prep work here. But hopefully the extra cash we get from this prep work can help us towards the new machinery that we're going to need. And we're going to be checking the sales. Looks like there's nothing right now, but we're going to be checking the sales pretty often. What can this hold? This can hold everything except for grapes, which is what we want. But we're going to be checking the sales pretty often here. We're probably going to try and get this tractor right here to initially go with the, what is this, a Landini art, the Rex 4 GT, which we're going to have to upgrade the horsepower. So it's going to cost us a fair bit. Do we need a 3-point on the front? I don't think we'd really initially do. We might need the wide tires though, just for that little bit of extra traction. But that's the one we're going to go for. I would love to get the methane one, but it is just... Whew, boy, it is slow and it's kind of expensive for what it is right now. I might get it later though. I might get it later though because it is a really neat little tractor. I wouldn't mind grabbing it up. And then of course I think that Vario is the biggest one that can operate comfortably in the orchards. And I believe they're coming out with some more orchard equipment here soon. I know they put in some new stuff. I don't know where it is though. I don't think it's in cars. It's not in there. It might be slurry tanks. Yeah, there it is. This big old sucker right here. Pretty neat. Can't really do anything with that right now, but... And I don't know what else there was. Yeah, don't know what else there was that they added, but let's keep doing this. We need to get this done. Is there a small one here? Yes, there is. I kind of want to move it away from the big tree. Get it out of the way here. Yeah, there we go. Alright, we're going to take this over to the pile. But we're going to keep an eye out on the sales, just in case anything grape or orchard related goes on sale. Mostly grape. Like one of the trailers, because you have to use the specific trailers for the grapes. Or one of the fertilizers would be good too. Because if one of those goes on sale, we'll take out the loan early and try and grab something. Grab it. Let's see. Oh wait, no. We don't want to cut this yet. Take it over there first. Otherwise, it's 2 trips. Oh. Dropping stuff. Now... They said the latest patch notes were going to be breaking, obviously. Breaking game mode here for a minute. The latest patch notes said that they fixed tree collision, so I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means like the bigger logs will sit closer together now instead of kind of floating around each other as they were doing before. So, I guess we'll find out once we're done getting all these small trees piled up. Because the small pieces, at least these small straight pieces, they were never really an issue before. It was the big pieces and the very crooked pieces you could get from some of the elm, like the American elm tree, were kind of a problem, kind of a nuisance to deal with. Alright, so we need to get the measuring stick out there. And you know what? Why don't we throw the measuring stick on the back of the tractor, or back of the trailer here, and we'll just go load up all the small branches. We'll go to each of the big trees, chop them down, or chop them into pieces. And we'll just hit the strap down button from here. It's fine. Yeah, we'll go to each of the small trees out here, or each of the big trees, to measure them out, and we'll put the small pieces on the back of this, and then we'll load up all the small branches, and probably won't. Yeah, it looks like we probably won't have time to be able to go take the stuff in to get paid out for it today, but we'll have everything loaded up, ready to go for tomorrow morning. And then we'll load the logs up. That'll be what we're doing. Okay. And we're going to be ending it, before daylight goes away. So we're starting it at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and we're ending it at about 5 every day now. Just because it's harder to see what's going on. Not only for me, but for you guys as well. It's not really. That's not really a good time. So the episodes are going to be ending roughly about regular. They're going to be open, regular business hours, basically. Just for being able to see and all that. Okay, so we got 2 and like a half piece off of this big one here. Let's see. Yeah, it's like 3 something. That's pretty good. Alright, so hopefully I don't lose that thing. Alright, so that tree is ready to get loaded on and sold. And you know what too is like this, there's a big section here, since we're going to be starting on that end to my left. There's a big section there that we want to try and mow the grass on. So that way we can at least get something else out of the land aside from just the grapes we're going to plant. Plus it adds some fertilization to the area. So it might help with that later on. Okay, let's see. So we're going to measure these ones out. Get this cut and done. Alright. One's a little longer than expected, but that's okay. It's only long by 0.1 meters. Okay, right there. Let's see, about right there. Okay. Yeah, that one's a little short. That's okay though. Come on. Should just position on there the way I put you on there instead of doing your own thing. That would be nice. That would be great. Okay. So we got this piece now. Let's see here. Alright. Right there. Good. So it seems the collision seems roughly the same, but I'm not sure. Can't really tell. This one we would just take it wholesale like that, or just whole rather. I don't know if I'm even using that word right, wholesale. But okay, so now we can move on to the next big tree. For some reason I can't enter my tractor. Thank you. Get to the next one. We'll load those ones up, and then we'll put away the measuring stick for later, just in case we still need it at any point. Okay, so we're gonna need to get rid of the branches first, obviously. Then we'll cut it up, and that'll be it for today. Come on, there we go. Now some of this is going to be in the bushes here, which is going to be a little annoying to be able to see. I'm just going to put the light on right now, just be able to see it a little better. Okay, so that one's good. There we go. Alright, that's roughly where it needs to be. Yeah. Actually got it perfect. Perfect 4-meter piece. Alright. Okay. Actually, I think the only pieces that we're gonna see in the bushes here is going to be the small pieces. Why is there always like some sort of weird lip? A weird spot on the tree that doesn't allow me to move things next to it. Right, there we go. So there's that, and then we'll get the rest of this chopped up. That's about okay. No. Don't want to cut my measuring stick. Alright, where's the last piece? 4.9. Yeah, that's fine to just throw on the back here, just as is. Okay. Now, measuring stick, I'm going to go and put it just over here. Next to these rocks is okay for now. Just gonna have to remember that's where it is. I don't want to get it mixed up with the rest of these branches. Or these little logs. Is that a fallen tree? Yes, it is. This will get sold with everything else tomorrow, I think. Pick it up, please. Thank you. And then we'll obviously have to go through and grind up all the stumps. Hopefully I'm not missing any trees or tree pieces. And we'll load those up tomorrow morning. And we'll get on to selling the rest of the wood off. Brings us one step and a day closer to March, where we'll be planting sunflowers and doing all kinds of stuff. So, yeah. Just park the tractor. And we'll do our nightly check here of everything. 29% here with this bunker silo. 63% there. We're getting pretty close to selling time for that one. Looks like the food really hasn't moved too much on these chickens. They also haven't laid any more eggs. I think they laid eggs like a couple days ago, so they're due, or maybe it was yesterday, but they're due here this next day or the day after for some more eggs, I think. We've got 385 and 367 here for tomatoes, 241 strawberries there, and everything's looking good. So let's see, water's looking good too. I don't think we're gonna have to worry about water for these anytime soon. The honey, still only 5 liters. I don't know how fast honey generation is and which hive, like the numbers of how much each type of hive does. But that's gonna do it. I'm gonna get some dinner, wash up, and go to bed. So thanks for stopping by the homestead, everybody, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Until then, have a great night, everyone.